Hi, welcome back to my kitchen. Today we are making some enchilada sauce, and this is gonna go along with our gifting series for Christmas. A lot of people in my family ask for a lot of my home canned foods, so I figured I would gift them some non-sweet items. We don't like a ton of sweets in our family, so gifting more like savory items is, I think, more fun for a lot of people in my family. So today we're gonna be making up enchiladas, and the original recipe I follow for my enchilada sauce is out of this canning book. I've been making this enchilada sauce for quite a few years now, so I change it up pretty much every time I make it, just to kind of taste it as I go and see how I like it. I have been writing notes down, so I'll put it down in the description what I do to change it. But this on page 294 is the recipe I follow. So if you want to try the original recipe, go ahead and try that. It's a great beginner canning recipe. We will be pressure canning this today. Let's go over some of the ingredients I have for this. The peppers I'll be using today are these Mexican chilies. We're gonna be using some diced tomatoes. If you have tomatoes from your garden, that's even better. For the liquid, I'm gonna be using some turkey stock, and as well as some vegetable broth I made. I'm trying to use this up because I've had it in my pantry a while, so I'm gonna do that. We're gonna be using some red wine vinegar, onions, garlic, and then some spices. So I have oregano, cumin, chili powder, which I need to refill that. I'm gonna be adding some molasses in there and probably a little bit of sugar to kind of offset the acidity. So let me take you guys along and show you how I do this. This is my homemade brown sugar. I do have a video on that if you want to learn how to make that. And then I also have my home canned turkey bone broth. And I also have a video on that if you want to learn that. If you're interested in how to make vegetable broth and can it up, let me know in the comments and I can do a video on that. Today I'm actually going to be doubling this recipe because I want some to gift and I also want some to put on my pantry shelf because I am completely out of enchilada sauce. The recipe calls for 12 dried New Mexican chili peppers, and I'm changing it up. These are a lot smaller peppers than a chili pepper, so I'm going to be kind of eyeballing this. With any recipe, it's really just something I go off of. I don't ever really follow measurements. I go off a taste. I'm gonna do what I think looks like 12 peppers and double it. I am boiling some water right now. So this is an 11-ounce bag, and I probably just did about half of that. So we're gonna start with that, and then see how that tastes. We're gonna pour hot boiling water over this. Okay, so while my peppers are soaking, I got my big pot here, and again, I'll put the recipe down in the description. If you have this canning book, that is the original recipe I went off of, so you can do that. And I'm doubling, and we're just gonna roughly chop these. And I'm thinking the recipe calls for 5 cups of onions, and it says about 4 onions. My onions are pretty big, so I'm gonna do about 7 onions. And I always keep a nice big bowl for all my composting stuff. Usually I would freeze stuff like this to put in like soup stocks and stuff, but I have so much broth right now, and soup stocks and stuff, so I don't really need that. I'm just gonna compost it. So that's what That is going in. Again, this is all gonna get blended, so I'm just gonna do a rough chop. Hopefully I won't cry too bad, because man, last time I cried, whew, I'm already starting to tear up. Gosh, these onions are strong. Oh my gosh, I keep throwing the peels in there. Wow. Man, I have to take a break after every onion. That's only 3 onions. That's only 3 onions. Whew, that one wasn't that bad. Ugh. Oh my gosh, we're done. Okay, so now that I'm done with that onion experience, as you can tell, my eyes are still watering. We have the onions here. I'm just gonna put a little oil in the pan, and we're gonna get these softened before I add other ingredients. I cut these in pretty big chunks. I'll kind of show you. That's what they look like. Again, I'm gonna be blending, and then once everything's blended together, I'm gonna be boiling this too. So everything will get cooked through. I just want to get them softened before we add other things. So this is probably gonna cook for like 10-15 minutes probably. Okay, so the recipe calls for 4 garlic cloves. I'm doubling, but I feel like it needs more than that. So I have about 15 cloves here. Some of them are really tiny, so it's probably more like 10 or 12. But I'm actually just gonna add them in whole and cook them with the onions. Last year, I made a point to keep extra spices on hand. So I've been buying mine from Azure Standard. I'll leave the link in the description. When you're canning stuff, you really should have a lot of bulk supplies on hand, just because when you're canning stuff, you're usually canning about like 8 to 12, 15 jars at a time. And you're stocking up your pantry so you can have that for the year when you do home preserving. So you really want to have bulk spices, just bulk things that can stay around for 1 to 2 years, you know, in your shelf. So having bulk spices on hand is really handy for instances like this. Like if it was just this on hand, I would have had to run to the store. Okay, our onions are looking more soft. I can kind of show you guys. That's what they're looking like. So I'm gonna add our other ingredients. I have a little bit of leftover turkey stock in my fridge. I'm gonna be adding that into this. I'm gonna kind of let this come up to a boil, and then we're gonna start blending it. Like another tablespoon of molasses, and we're gonna see how we like that. And then about 2 teaspoons, so 4 teaspoons of red wine vinegar. I'm just gonna kind of guess. Okay, so my enchilada sauce was bubbling, so I'm gonna start blending it and putting it in this bowl. I might need to put it in 2 pots. I don't know how much we're gonna get here, but let's start doing that. And I'm using my Vitamix today. I just really wanna get it as finely blended as possible, finer than what an immersion blender can do. So let's get this going, and I'll probably put this on a time lapse, so this speeds it up. I'll show you when I'm done. Okay, so we're all blended up, and I'm actually gonna add this back into this other pan. I got all the big stuff out, and I kind of want to try and strain out some of this, like skins of the peppers and stuff. So I'm just gonna do that, just because I'm giving it, I don't really mind the chunks, but because I'm giving it away as gifts, I want to try to get as much of that out as possible. Need to get one of those like berry strainers that has a little, to get all this pulp out. It's gonna take me a little bit. I'm gonna bring you guys back when I'm done with this, because this is probably gonna take me a good like 20 minutes. Okay, so I finished straining my enchilada sauce, and for the amount of peppers I put in, it is spicy, man. So I'm gonna do another can of diced tomatoes. I'm gonna add another onion. I'm gonna blend those up and just add it to my stuff, and then see what I need to add from there. So this is what it looks like after I strained it. It looks actually really pretty. I got quite a bit of pulp out. I'll show you in my compost bin here. But that's what I got out of there. If I had the right tool for the job, I probably would have been able to get a lot more sauce out of that pulp, but I don't have that. Had to do it with a spoon. And it took me like 25 minutes to do all the sauce. So I blended the other can of tomatoes and an onion. We're gonna add this into our mixture. And then we're gonna bring this up to a boil. I'm gonna put the lid on, kind of keep an eye on it, make sure it doesn't burn on the bottom. And once it kind of cooks that raw onion, I'm going to taste it again and see what it needs. Okay, so I've ended up adding a lot more stuff than I thought I was going to. Did probably too many peppers. They were hotter than I thought they would be. And so it was really hot. I mean, I like a little bit of spice, but this was like mouth on fire. I'm not the greatest when it comes to heat, probably. But so I ended up adding more turkey stock, more red wine vinegar, more brown sugar, and then the onion and the jar of tomato sauce. And I'm just gonna kind of let it come up to a boil, and then I'm gonna taste it again, see if that kind of helped even out the flavor. And then hopefully we can jar it up soon. I got a ton in here. It's like more than half full. So we're gonna get a lot of jars of enchilada sauce, which is really exciting because I want some on my pantry shelf and some to give away for gifts. So I'll bring you back when we're jarring this up. Oh, and I will put what I've been writing everything down, the amounts that I've changed and everything. So I'll put the full amounts down in the description below of what I did. So we are ready to start canning up our jars. I have 12 pints here. Again, I'll put what I changed in the description below. If you are using these types of peppers and you don't want it spicy, I would use less than what I have in the recipe. Even with adding the more canned tomato and the more turkey stock, it is a little spicier than I even like. So it's not terrible though. So but I don't feel like I want to add anything more. I like the flavor, so we're gonna get this stirred up, and I don't know how many jars it's gonna do, so let's just see how many jars I can get. I think I can get 19 quarts in my canner, 18 maybe. So let's get jarring this up. I'll bring you in close. I like the smooth, how smooth it looks and tastes when, after getting all that extra like pulp out of there. I usually leave that in stuff in, and that really doesn't bother me, and I'll probably leave it in future. Okay, so we got our jars loaded up. I think I counted right. I'm gonna double check when I pull them out, but I believe this made exactly 16 pints, which is awesome. That is a ton of enchilada sauce. This is gonna process for 50 minutes, and then I will bring you back when I'm pulling them out of the canner. Okay, so we are finished. I got all my enchilada sauces here. They're turned out really pretty. Let's see if I can do this without dropping. But they turned out really pretty. A little bit more spicier than I wanted to, that I want. So I'm probably gonna put spicy, make sure people know that it's spicier enchilada sauce. But this is really exciting to have on my shelves because I was completely out. And we got 16 pints. Actually, we got 17 pints. I just put one in the refrigerator, but we got 16 canned up. So that's gonna give me a ton to put on the shelves. So that's really exciting. And I hope you guys like this video. Let me know if you tried this recipe or if you've tried the one in the canning book. That recipe is just such a great base recipe for a guideline. I've been canning that recipe for years actually, and every time I do it, I write notes of what I've improved and what I've added over the years until I get that perfect one. The last 2 batches have been pretty good. So this one, it just turned out a little bit spicier than I wanted, but I think we will still enjoy it. So I hope you guys will stick around. We have lots more videos coming out, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.